Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Yes. We're good. Let me turn this phone off. People like to call at the worst times. Okay. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. And let me get situated. So, okay. So, last time we were here, I told you guys that I had unfortunately contracted COVID, and I told you guys I was going to come back and give you my experience because I've heard a lot of things about it. I've heard, a lot of people that I know have it. Everybody had a different experience. Obviously, we hear all these different stories, and so I just wanted to give my experience. So first and foremost, I'm gonna jump right into it. So I got sick. I've been doing very, very good staying away from people and doing all the right things not to get sick. But my wife gave it to me, and sometimes it's the people closest to you that, they derail you. But she caught it from her niece. Her niece was sick. She knew she was sick. I don't know why she goes around her but she knew she was sick. She didn't realize she had COVID. She thought she's young. She thought she just had a little, regular cold. Turned out to be COVID. And about 5, 6, maybe 7 of us got sick all at the same time. So first and foremost, so obviously, Nikki gets sick. I get sick also after her. Now, the crazy thing is I got it worse than she did, and she's the one that gave it to me, but that's another story. So first thing that started happening is, obviously she was feeling sick, so I knew it was probably going to come, but wasn't thinking it was COVID, right? So I start feeling, you get that funny feeling when you first start getting sick and something's coming. You just start you can't really pinpoint it, but you just know you start feeling weird. So, I started going through that just one night. And then by the end of the night, I just started getting these terrible, it was like real late, probably like 2, 3 in the morning. I started getting these like horrible chills. Like just bad chills. So once I started getting those chills, I'm like, yeah, we got a problem. So checked my temperature. I didn't check my temperature that night. I just took something and went to sleep. Got under the covers. The next day I was still going through it. I was, So anyway, long story short, I ended up checking my temperature. I was running a fever, obviously. Ended up we had COVID tests at home that we just had stashed. So I ended up taking it probably a day or 2 later just to make sure. But the other people that we know in the family, they had already been tested. They was already sick. They was more in the middle of it, and they had COVID. So they kept saying, yo, y'all got COVID. We like, nah, we ain't got that. Nah, we different. But I wanted to be responsible, and I did want to know. So I pulled out one of those tests, took the test, and it came back. It was positive. So the first thing that I started doing, I said, okay, I got to make sure my mental's right because I can't start thinking crazy, start thinking this, start thinking that, and start panicking because that's when you're not mentally strong and you start thinking sick or you start thinking negative, that's when things start going wrong and you start going down and worse. So I had to, I was like, all right, it's COVID. I can't overly stress myself mentally over that. I got to do what I got to do. And I don't know what's going to happen as this starts building up. So I just got to be prepared, but I can't be stressing and worried. And, I can't do anything that's going to make me worse. So anyway, I went through the chills. So I had a fever for like 3 days. I do things to bring it down, then it would spike back up. So I kept going through that. I was feeling nauseous and weak. That really sucked. But then after a couple of days, it started to hurt when I breathed. And that started worrying me because I always heard people talk about, they have issues breathing and all this stuff. So when that happened, I started worrying a little bit, but I still was keeping it calm. But Nikki had made this I don't know what you call it, but she basically boiled certain stuff like garlic, sea salt, some other stuff. She put it in a pot. We was just covering our heads and breathing it in, and that worked quickly. So I think from that first couple of times I did it that first day, my lungs opened up and I didn't have any more pain in my lungs when I breathed. So I did that for a few days, but immediately it took that issue away from my lungs. So I thought, I don't know how that might have progressed and and went worse, but I know what we was breathing in with that mist and all that, it made a difference immediately, and it took that away. I didn't have that issue again. So everything kind of went, the sickness kind of went in waves. And so, like I said, first I'm getting the chills, the fever, then I'm feeling nauseous and weak. And then I'm looking at my notes, by the way. I had to take some notes to remember all this. So after a few days, my throat started getting sore. When I felt like I was starting to get a little bit better, then my throat got sore. And I'm like, damn. So it was just every 2 or 3 days, it was like something starts going away or something new comes. So I was really like, damn, if this is a buildup, if it keeps building up and more things, I might be in trouble. So again, only thing I can do at that time is just rest as much as possible. But I'm one of those people, unless I'm really, really sick and I can't move, it's hard for me to keep still. I can't lay in the bed all day. I can't just sit around and do nothing unless I really can't have no other choice and I'm just out of it. So I was spending a lot of time sleeping because I was really out of it. Really wasn't feeling good. I was spending a lot of time sleeping. And then when I was awake, I was just trying to move around and do stuff, but then I get super weak and it just wasn't working. So at the end of the day, this is what I realized. So wait, let me tell you a few things. So those are most of my symptoms. Like I was, very, very tired, not really hard to focus, not feeling good, sore throat, like really sore throat, all that type of stuff. Some things I didn't go through that I had been hearing about. So like I didn't have any body aches. I didn't have any headaches. I didn't have the severe coughing that some people have. I didn't have I didn't have any congestion. I didn't have any runny nose. Other than that time where I was having the issues breathing, like with a little bit of soreness. I didn't have any passageway issues or nothing like that. So I was like, okay, that's good. So I kept hoping it didn't come, down the line. But luckily, I didn't have a lot of those symptoms. What I personally realized is, for me, it really did suck. But I've been way sicker before with the regular flu. Now, this is the thing that I keep stressing to people. It really bothers me because I was even on the phone today with somebody, and he was saying this, and people keep saying, yo, it's just the regular flu, or it's just this. And I'm like, no, it's not. I don't care what you say, what you feel. It is not a regular flu. And I'm not going to get deep into that and all the different things, but it's not. It's just not. So this is the thing also. The people that I know, the other people that were sick with us, just about all of them, other than me and Nikki, they all had the vaccines. They had boosters. Some had 1 booster. Some had 2 boosters, but they all was vaccinated and had at least 1 booster. They were all sicker than we were. Now, I'm not trying to say anything as far as you should get a vaccine, you shouldn't get. I'm not touching all that. That's everybody's personal decision, and I'm not getting into all of that. But just my observation from our little unit that was sick at the same time, they were all worse than we were. So I found that interesting. Now, a few of them take some stuff that I take, like they take the CMOS. But like I said, they had the vaccine, they were sicker. I found that very interesting. So just take that for what you want. I'm not implying anything. It's just what I saw. So like I said, the things that I did notice is, so I didn't have the headaches, the body aches, the coughing, the serious coughing, no runny nose, no congestion, no trouble breathing. I'm not going to really get into what I did, and I'm going to tell you why. So what I realized is, and this is through life. Whenever somebody is sick, whenever everybody has a cold, a flu, whatever, everybody tells you something different. And it's like everybody does something different to make themselves better, but you're still sick. You still got to go through it. So that always is kind of funny to me. Like, oh yeah, if you sick, take this. You should do that. Even today, I spoke to a friend and he was like, yeah, you should do this and do that. And I'm like, yo, listen, everybody does something a little bit different. You're still going to go through it. So I'm not going to get into all the things that I was doing, but I was taking and doing all the regular stuff that I usually take when I'm sick. this is the thing that I also realized. So I felt like because I hadn't gotten sick in 3 years, and I always talk about this. So I know the CMOS boosted my immune system, and it didn't. I didn't get sick for so long. That was not normal. I always get sick a couple of times a year my whole life. So there's nothing anybody can tell me as far as what CMOS does for boosting your immune system, right? And me seeing that Nikki and myself take CMOS every day. We take the raw CMOS, we take the SBB. And how she didn't get too sick at all. She was like sick for a few days and it wasn't bad. She never was I don't think she even stayed in bed a full day. Like she was way better than I was. But the people who has the shot and they don't take what I take. They don't take CMOS, they don't take black seed oil, they don't take any of that stuff. They were worse than me. So just as far as me, you can't tell me that those things didn't make a difference. And I can give you other cases of people that I know that are older, that has different issues. They got sick. They was taking the CMOS for a long time and they didn't have everybody had their different what they went through, but they were all fine at the end of the day. And we know people that were worse that don't take what we take. So that's just that. I was still taking so I also lost 10 pounds because I wasn't eating very much. And it was actually hard for me to take stuff. So I wasn't taking stuff on my normal times. So like it was hard for me to swallow pills. It was hard for me to take the CMOS. The easiest thing, surprisingly, was it was easiest for me to take the black seed oil. So I still made sure I took it everything most days. There were some days, honestly, I just couldn't take nothing. I just couldn't like put anything down. But so I did what I had. I did the best I could. But I really want people to understand something. At the end of the day, you have to still do what you have to do to make sure you're safe, make sure you're avoiding not just COVID, but anything that's any viruses, anything. You have to, take all the proper precautions because this is serious and it is still going around. And you don't know how you're going to react to it until you get it and you go through it. You don't want to be in a situation where you get hospitalized or you realize, oh, I got this other condition or this happened. So you still want to be as preventative as you can. That means being careful, being cautious. And it also means taking the things that you can take to avoid getting sick, to keep your immune system strong. And if you do get it, that you're still as strong as possible, because it does, at the end of the day, I feel like this: if you get it, you're going to get it. And you're going to go through whatever you're going to go through. It's going to be different for everybody. But you can't tell me that you're better off not being as strong as possible as opposed to being weak. And you're just like, okay, I'm not going to take something. And what I'm trying to get at is I've heard a few people say, oh, so you got sick, so I guess the black seed oil didn't help. I guess the CMOS didn't help. And I'm like, yo, you're crazy for even thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's so many different variables and angles that I can get into. But for anybody who thinks like that, that's just you, again, making excuses not to better yourself, not to be healthy, not to do the right things. Those are just excuses. So I just want you guys to just stay as safe. Keep taking whatever it is you got to take. One thing that I was also doing, I made sure that I got into the sun a lot, as much as I can. And I noticed when I did go outside, I would sit on my balcony, for a few minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour, and I would always feel better. I noticed that whenever I went outside, I felt better. And then when I went back inside, I started feeling, not the best again. So if you can, when you're sick, get outside, just sit outside, stand outside, do whatever you can. Definitely get some sun. If you ask me, it did make a difference. The fresh air and the sun made a difference. The CMOS made a difference. The black seed oil made a difference. Other stuff that I was taking, like I said, I took everything else that I normally take when I get sick. I take extra vitamin C. I take Theraflu. I take this. I take that. You're still going to go through it. So you can't think that. And people who have taken the shot is still getting it, and they're getting it multiple times. So I don't think there's anything that you can do to avoid getting it, but the things that you're doing in preparation and if and when you get it decides how bad, and your overall health obviously decides how bad the symptoms are and how bad you're going to go through it. Now, here's another thing, since why I keep stressing to people, this is not some regular flu or some regular anything. It's been over 3 weeks since I got sick. I've been basically over it for a week and a half, 2 weeks, or something like that. It's been at least a week and a half. I'm still not right yet. You know what I'm saying? I still get tired throughout the day, and these last couple of days is the best I've been feeling. So I'm still getting better, but I tried to go for a walk the other day. I got real tired. Just doing too much, I still get tired. Doing nothing, I still at some point I get tired. I get drained. I get really, really weak and exhausted, and it doesn't matter what I could do. I could drink a bunch of caffeine. I could drink extra everything, do all this stuff. It doesn't help. So that also is showing me like whatever's going on is still in my system. I'm still building back up. My overall focus isn't where it should be. My energy isn't where I should be. But I am getting better. And that's one of the things that, like, you hear people saying, that's real. And it is very, very frustrating when you're going through that, because you can't properly function. You can't get things done. And but that's another reason why I'm like, that's not a regular flu. Nobody gets a flu and you're still off 3 weeks, 2 weeks later. So the point in me stressing that is we just have to be more serious and more preventative about this, because too many people take it as a joke. That's pretty much it. Like I said, in recapping, I've been sick. I've been way sicker. So I feel fortunate, and I feel like the things that I've been doing, the things that I've been taking made a difference. And it made a difference. Again, it's not just me. It made a difference in myself. It made a difference in Nikki, the people that we know that wasn't taking what we take, and they had the shots, they had the boosters. They were sicker than we were. So that's that. I just wanted to give you my experience. And I just tell everybody again, I'm going to keep stressing this. Be as healthy as possible. Take whatever you can take as far as boosting your immune system. And the reason why I keep saying take what I can take, because we know the sea moss helps. We know the black seed oil helps boost your immune system. And that's the two biggest things that I talk about. But I just want you, I don't just want to focus on that. I want whatever you do, eating properly, getting exercise, getting in the sun, getting fresh air, whatever it is, vitamin C, all this stuff, whatever it is else that you do to boost your immune system and to keep your system strong, keep your mind sharp, keep your body on point, continue to do that. Do all of that. Don't start slacking. Don't, do whatever it is you got to do to stay optimally healthy, because this stuff is real. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to start getting back to my regular content. My energy's doing better. I'm feeling better. Salute to everybody who was, sending me shout outs and sending me well wishes. I appreciate you guys. Salute to everybody who, has still been, I can't think now. I'm talking too fast. Salute to everybody who's been supporting Radar Plus Nutrition. Salute to everybody who started, supporting Nikki's coloring book. The link is in the description. I mentioned it in the last video, and a lot of you guys jumped on it, started supporting. I appreciate that. So if you haven't seen that, go to the link in the description. Get your black seed oil, get your sea moss. Check out the coloring book. All of those links are in the description. That's pretty much it. If I missed anything, because I was just kind of going with it. If I missed anything, I'll update it in another video. But just stay safe, everybody. And that's pretty much it. Till next time, stay focused, stay fit. Please hit the like button. Show your support. Definitely hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted the next time something else pops up on the radar. Salute.